So in this exercise 3, we're going to talk about how to complete the entry for this client that we have just enrolled in the Chapman Partnership Rapid Rehousing Program. First, we need to go through some house cleaning rules. Everybody needs to do this. Relationship to head of household. Everybody has a relationship. In this example, Tess Testerson is the self head of household. Every person in the household has to have a relationship to head of household. There can only be one self head of household, and that person right now who is the head of household in this household is Tess Testerson. All these other people up here on this side will have a different role in the household, but they cannot be head of household because Tess is already head of household, and as I said, there can only be one head of household. Client location. You must have a client location. It is a required field, and in this case it's pretty much always FL 600. Pick the top one, 600, okay? This is a rapid rehousing program. If there is a rapid rehousing program, you need to have a move-in date for rapid rehousing move-in dates. All rapid rehousing and permanent housing programs must have a move-in date. If you have one, please supply it. That goes for test, baby, and new baby. Everybody needs to have a relationship, client location, and a move-in date if a move-in date is available. Obviously, if the client has not moved into housing, then you can't enter a move-in date because there is none. We also need to have prior living situation. You need to fill it out. Okay, and that can be found in the little pick list right here from the side with the down arrow, and you can usually find the location of where the client was before. Pick something from that pick list. You need to figure out the length of stay in the previous place. Okay, we need to know approximate date the homelessness started. Okay, we need to know the number of times they've been on the street in the past 3 years, including today, and the total number of months. All these are fields that help determine the client's length of stay on the streets or in the last location they were in, as well as try to figure out if they're chronic. Okay? Everybody should know by now that you are required to complete these sub-assessments. The first is called monthly income. Second is called non-cash benefits. Third one is health insurance. And the fourth one is disabilities. Okay? Before we get into those 4 sub-assessments, let's talk about domestic violence. Domestic violence, we need that field because HUD likes to collect data on this field, and so if it is not there, we ask that you fill it in for us. Okay, any of this stuff, if you don't give it to us now, eventually we come looking for it later on. So you may as well fill it all in, and as much of it as possible the first time, because again, whatever is missing, we eventually come back looking for it. Okay, now let's talk about the first of the 4 sub-assessments called income. This one says income from any source, and the answer to this one is yes or no, doesn't know, not collected, refused. So in this case, I've said that my client has some sort of income somewhere, so I want to know what that is. So what I would do is I come here to HUD verification, click on that, and it tells me there's one source in here that says yes, and it says earned income. I click on that just to verify, and it does say that I am making $1,000 as of March 1st, 2020. And that's all I need to do right now, is to verify that I do have income. Everything else should stay no, like it is on this column over here. Okay, but yes, I do have one column that says yes, and that is correct. So I do have a source of income, and so this question out here is correct. Now let's come down to the next one. Non-cash benefits. I'm telling it I have no non-cash benefits here. I'm going to click on this little HUD verification out here. I look on it, and sure enough, everything says no. So that is correct. Everything inside these sub-assessments here must match what's on the outside. Okay? Same thing with insurance. I tell it I have none. If I click on the inside here to see what's inside the health insurance sub-assessment, one says yes. So that is what? Telling me that it is incorrect, because I cannot tell the system out here that I have no insurance, and yet on the inside I have a yes. So I need to correct that. How do I correct it? I just make this, I'm just going to make this back into a no and save it, so that everything becomes a no, and everything inside here matches what's outside here. Everybody understand that? Okay, same thing with disabilities. Let's look at disabilities. Disabilities says I have no disabilities here. Everything says no, 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 all the way down. So let's go see where my question in this assessment asked me for disabilities. I believe it is up top here somewhere. Does the client have a disabling condition? No. So this answer, no, matches what's inside this sub-assessment. Okay, again, you want to make sure you get domestic violence as well. This is not applicable to rapid rehousing or to the emergency shelter programs for Chapman, so don't worry about it. Okay, and that's the end of that. Save and exit. Thank you.